Hi you guys, welcome back to another episode of In 5 Minutes. I'm really loving this right now. So today we're talking about all of the hidden costs, all the costs that are included when it comes to buying your property, any property really, in 5 minutes. Now there are quite a lot. I'm calling this the hidden cost just because I have heard it all before. Many of you guys out there only really focus on the deposits, but there is so much more that you need to save for. So these are the hidden costs that people don't talk about much, and you'll find out when it comes to your time, and I really want you guys to be prepared before we get there. So obviously the first thing is your deposit, and everyone always says how much is a good deposit. On average, most lenders will borrow you 4.5 times your salary, right? So if you earn £30,000 and you times that by 4.5, you'll get £135,000, which means that's how much you're allowed to borrow. And now let's say you want to buy a property that's 200 grand. So let's say you find a property that you love that is 200k, guys. Take away the 135 that they'll borrow you and you'll end up with £65,000. It's not a rule of thumb that it's always 4.5. Sometimes it can be 5 times, sometimes it can even be 6 times. It just depends on that, but obviously it depends on what you earn as well, which is why I always say it's all just moving parts, you guys. Your deposit, what you earn, and what you'll borrow, and your credit score, they all play a huge part. So anyway, moving on because we haven't got much time. The next thing is a valuation fee. So once you find a property, you put an offer in and your offer's been accepted, the bank will then send out someone to value the property and make sure what you've offered is correct. You guys have heard my crazy story before, but I had a situation where what I offered was way too high and the person did not want to budge. So they value it and you pay for that. Not all the time, but in most cases you do, and that can vary. It can kind of go up to £500. There is also a deeper survey, which is like a full-on survey of the property, which people recommend you do, especially if you're buying an older home, even a new home. Let's just be real, because there are problems in every single home, and those can range up to £1,000 just depending on the property value. So you have those costs and they are upfront payments, so they're not things that you pay for at the end. They are things that you have to pay for in order for them to go ahead onto the next stage. You then have legal fees. Legal fees can really vary. There is no set amount that you should pay a lawyer, but they can vary up to like £2,000. All things are dependent on the kind of searches and things they have to do, along with the value of the property and all of that stuff. So it can range up to that. Luckily that would be paid in full at the end, but sometimes you do have things to pay for during the process. Like I had like some searches that I had to pay for and things up front. You also have chat, a service that is used to kind of transfer your deposit over to the right banks and all of that, and that's a £50 charge, and that is obviously when it comes to actually exchanging and completing, so that's at the end. You also may have a mortgage broker fee, and if you watch one of my previous In 5 Minutes, you'll learn more about how that is calculated, etc. Sometimes you have a fee, sometimes you don't, and it can kind of vary around 500 or up to, in my case, I think I paid like 250, so it really does vary. You may also have to pay stamp duty, and I have another separate video indulging on stamp duty, you guys, but it's just essentially another tax that we have to pay when it comes to buying property. If you are a first-time buyer and your property is under 300k, you don't need to worry about it. But if you're not and it's above that, then you have extra percentage costs when it comes to buying that home. When your mortgage broker or your bank, whoever you go with, actually does your application and it's accepted and everything, and you're about to, you know, sign the dotted line, you may also have a mortgage arrangement fee, and they can range up to about £2,000. Now you have the option whether to pay that up front, or they can, you know, add that into your mortgage, and obviously that recalculates. So there is another hidden cost which you may not always have to pay for, and it is called your mortgage booking fee. I know, another fee for getting a mortgage. These can actually be included in your mortgage arrangement fee, so you may never really see that, you know, that phrase separately. It may be included, which of course, as I said before, can be included into your mortgage. So you guys, I'm gonna do a rough estimated like total for you guys. This is just like a ballpark kind of figure, can be lower, can be much higher, but yeah, based on all of these things, we are looking at, so I'm gonna go down the middle of all of these ranges, right? So 5 plus 500 plus 1,000. Ooh. So without looking at your deposit, all the other hidden costs, from the booking fees to the this fee to the lawyer fees to the mortgage fees and valuations and all of that good stuff, you're looking at about £4,000 to £5,000. Now, as I said, it could be less. I think mine probably all came up to 4,000, including stamp duty, because I paid stamp duty. But there are some people that have paid 5,000 or 6,000 plus more. It just depends on the fees and the things that need to be done, and how much things are and what they cost when it comes to your time. So bear that in mind, guys. Don't just think about the 10 or 20,000 or 30,000 pounds deposit for the home. Think about the additional thousands that you're going to need just to get things started. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope it hasn't like pooped you guys. I hope it's actually reminded you guys. Hopefully many of you guys are already on track with this, but if you're not, at least now you know, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.